CD&SAM podcast, episode 40 something, right? Something like that.
Something like that.
All right. Anyways, we haven't been able to touch too much on the Pelicans, and so even though we just uploaded pretty recently, we're back here after Pelicans opening night win with a quick Pels pod. These are gonna be back probably. I mean, I would expect us to upload more frequently during the Pelican season, just because that's like the team that we're most locked in on.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, we're back here talking about the Pels, talking about good win last night. Anything you got to add to that, Connor?
No, I mean, yeah, you said it perfectly. The Pelicans are the team we were most locked in on, but we'll probably be less consistent towards the end of the Pelican season just because, baseball season starts up.
Well, also once the Pelicans collapse about
Yeah, that's a
50 games
given.
in, then
The
yeah,
annual collapse of a New Orleans sports team.
yes.
Um, but yeah, so I mean, to just jump into it, the Pelicans kind of did everything they needed to. Let me pull up the stat sheet real quick. Um, I mean, we got off to a slow start, but like from the end of the second quarter to I mean, basically the rest of the game, we were in full control.
Yeah, the game flipped. We were down, I think 33 to 25, and then we went on a 16-0 run, and I don't think we trailed after that point. Funnily enough, it did kind of start with those Matt Ryan three threes,
Funnily,
and
is funnily a word?
um, funnily might be a word. Um,
Doesn't matter.
but what was I gonna say? I
Sorry.
honestly did not know Matt Ryan was on the roster go before last night.
Really?
Maybe that might make me a bad fan,
No.
but
Sam, you're a great
um,
fan.
thank you. But he came in three threes. You can look at the plus. Matt Ryan was a plus
Plus
20
20.
plus
That is
minus in
crazy.
14 minutes. Matt Ryan is the future of the franchise. He's the real power forward that's leading the Pels to greatness. Um, so yeah, he completely flipped the game on its head. Matt Ryan, MVP of the game. Pels win.
Oh, what is that? Sorry about that. Um, did you hear that?
I did not. No, you're
Okay.
good.
Um, so yeah, I saw it was like when Matt Ryan wasn't on the court, it was minus whatever we lost by. So I guess -7,
Minus 13
minus
with Matt
13
Ryan
or
off the
whatever.
court, as
Yeah.
opposed to Matt Ryan on the court when we were dominant.
Yeah. Um, that is insane to me. One thing that kind of stood out to me, I didn't watch the full game because we had baseball at John Ryan, but I saw Herb Jones shoot the ball twice, and both times it went in. And his like he got the ball and shot it quickly. It was very confident. It didn't look like Herb Jones from past years. So that was a good sight to see, man. If Herb can start shooting the ball, space the floor more, I mean, hate to say it, but we're gonna be a force to be reckoned with.
I agree. If Herb can get his 3-point shot up to probably 35, 36%, he's going to be a real problem
That'd be crazy.
on the offensive end of the court that they're going to have to step up on and create more space in the lane for guys like Zion and Brandon
Yeah.
Ingram to get into his mid range. But yeah, the new offensive system this year, which once again I didn't know until I heard on the broadcast this year. We got former Hornets coach James Borrego or JJ Borrego, something like that.
I thought we talked
Um,
about that.
did we? I think we talked about it, but I didn't know he had like a whole new offensive system.
Yeah, it was
It
James
seems to
Borrego.
be like James Borrego. Yeah, it seems to be geared around getting more open threes, but then also just taking them more assertively
Mhm.
and trying to be more efficient with those shots, which is great when you make them like we did last night. But I'm interested to see how we do on an off night when, we're not getting multiple threes from guys like Matt Ryan, Jonas, and
And that's the beautiful thing,
Herb.
though, because then we could just feed a guy like Zion.
Right. Yeah. So we'll
And
see.
one thing, I mean, Joel and AD were talking about this. JV kind of was clogging up the paint a little bit last night. There was a few instances where, I mean, he definitely should have kind of just gotten out the way and let Zion do his thing. But yeah, I mean, I can't be disappointed with this performance. I mean, beat a good team. I mean, obviously without their superstar, but if you remember last year, the Grizzlies were arguably better. I mean, I think this their record was better without Ja last year. It
Right.
was damn close.
You got to give a lot of credit to Desmond Bain. He was very good last
He's
night.
the
He's a
Grizzlies
guy that's
statue.
going to get, first of all, a lot of opportunities with John Morant out after, and he just got the big contract. I think he feels a little bit more confident now with that. And I mean, he can just really score at all levels. He can get to his spot anywhere on the court. Really good jump shot from as far as, like 33 feet out. We saw that last night.
You talking about Bane?
Um, yeah, Bain. Yeah, so I think he's gonna be really good. Big stats. Probably, I think Bain might be an all-star with John Morant out for this first half of the season.
Yeah,
And Jaren Jackson's phenomenal last night. I know he got put on a poster by Zion, but he also blocked him like three
defensively,
times as well. So
defensively.
I can't. Yeah, defensively, that Jaren Jackson needs to stop chucking up threes. I'll say that. But
Yeah, yeah, he was chucking last
defensively, he's
night.
an absolute beast if he stays out of foul trouble.
Yeah,
He was. He
he was
got the ball
chucking.
up the court, and he's just like they had probably three possessions where they would just kind of lazily toss it to him on a trail, and he'd chuck one up,
Yeah,
which was a win for the Pelicans every time. But
yeah,
I think the Grizzlies are still going to be a very good team this year that could probably be top six in the West.
yeah. I think Marcus Smart will kind of fill the void that John Morant created. I mean, Marcus Smart's a menace on defense, and I mean, he can facilitate. I mean, he even scored 17. I didn't even know he got all the way up to 17. But
Me neither.
what'd you think about Marcus Smart yesterday? I kind of,
He played pretty well. He didn't have any like standout defensive plays, but I mean, we don't really run our offense through a guard, so um, have to see where that goes. Obviously, he's there for defensive purposes as well as what he brings to the team off the court.
right.
But I mean, he's a very good presence to have in Memphis, along with Derrick Rose, those two guards. I know they've said they're not babysitting John Morant, but I mean, come on, that's what they're doing,
Yeah, they're
right?
baby.
Like, there's no other reason you bring in Derrick Rose. Not that he still can't play a little bit because we saw that last night. He can, but yeah, I think they're both very good presence to have on the team. And then Marcus Smart obviously also brings a lot on the court, especially on the defensive side.
Yeah. Now to transition back to the Pelicans. The younger guys like Jordan Hawkins and Dice. Jordan Hawkins surprisingly had a 14, a positive 14 plus minus. Um, I I don't know what to say about that. But I mean, not much to say about Jordan Hawkins. I mean, he shot the ball twice. But Dyson, I thought Dyson kind of looked out of control a little bit the few times I watched.
So
Uh,
Dyson Daniels had a very interesting game last night.
he looked
Uh,
polished sometimes.
yeah, so I think there's a lot to take from it. In just the 19 minutes in his one game, but like looking from year one to year two, my biggest like complaint with Dyson last year is that he looked really unassertive moving to the rim, which I have to give him credit. He did that about three times last night, and I don't think I saw him do that maybe three times all season last
Yeah.
year. But with that being said, he was more aggressive, but he also did, he turned the ball over twice off the bench, which we're not, I look at the ideal backup point guard in the NBA, and it's Tyus Jones, and that's because he has the lowest turnover rate. So you can't have that if you're going to be a backup point guard this year. But I did really like some of the aggression he showed on the offensive end.
Yeah, Dice definitely has a higher upside than Tyus Jones, though.
I agree. I think Dyson Daniels is the future point guard of the Pelicans. I really do. I think he's got all the tools to be a little bit of a smaller Ben Simmons with a shot.
Yeah, he's got the length for sure. Um,
Definitely. He's a guy defend.
pause,
He can defend
pause.
1 through 4. No
Uh,
homo.
yeah. Um, I mean, any last takes? I mean, Zion was kind of shut down towards the end or in the
Other
beginning, but then
than that,
turned
you
up.
gotta shout out the unsung heroes of the Pelicans, Jonas and CJ. They're kind of like how in baseball there's
We take
guys
them
who
for
you say like
granted.
we do like there's guys in baseball who you say like, oh, they're the everyday players. Jonas and CJ are the everyday players on the
Yeah,
team, and they really showed out last night. CJ 24 points on a very efficient
his
only
shot looked
50%
good.
from the floor.
His
He did
shot
look
looked real
good.
good.
I think we're gonna get to see a lot more catch and shoot CJ this year, which I think is better than opposed to him shooting off the dribble.
Yeah,
But yeah, he made 6 threes last night. Jonas, very casual double double. Really good game from pretty much the whole starters.
it's almost like how does Jonas not get a double double every game?
Yeah.
You know, that's what it
Um,
feels like.
he goes really unnoticed sometimes. Like I didn't notice he had 12 and 12 until they said it on the broadcast last night.
Yeah,
But it's a very quiet, good night for him.
yeah, and then also keep in mind that we're without Jose and Trey, who Trey we have very high aspirations for. I can't
Trey
wait
and
to watch
Najee
him
as
play.
well.
Oh, Najee too. What's up with Najee? That ankle?
He got hurt in the preseason. He's getting reevaluated, I think, this week, so he should be back maybe next week or the week after.
So funny story. Me and the Ginger went to Buffalo Wild Wings on Monday because we had the PSAT on Tuesday, so we didn't really have anything Monday night to watch the Niners versus the Vikings, and we saw a guy that looked oddly similar to Najee Marshall. It wasn't him, but he looked pretty similar to him.
It wasn't him though.
It was not him. No, he looked very
So then
similar.
what's the story that we're telling here, Connor?
That I saw a guy that looked similar to
Who
Najee
looked like
Marshall.
Najee Marshall?
Yeah,
When are you publishing the book about that?
what are you talking about?
When you publish the book about almost seeing a guy that looked like Najee Marshall, your thrilling life tales.
Sam, I have a boring life, okay, dude? I mean, come on. No, but I think
Okay.
Dalton told me he did see Najee Marshall.
Dalton would not recognize Najee Marshall if he saw him.
Do you want me to call in right now? I'm not gonna
I don't
call him.
think he would recognize him. Besides, though, speaking of Dalton, his Astros lost, which I'm very, very excited about.
Yeah,
But
Adolis owns the Astros.
get to watch the World Series. Adolis Garcia is an American hero. But
Yeah.
anyway, is that going to do it for today?
Go Pelicans. I'm done.
Go Pels. Good win last night. They're giving me a little bit of enthusiasm heading into the weekend. But yeah, thank you for listening. If you made it to a back-to-back, same week podcast. But
Wait, didn't we do a pod yesterday? Oh
yeah,
no.
that's what I mean. Like same week, like as the last one.
Did we do
We
one
did one.
yesterday? Or was that 2 days ago?
No, not yesterday. It was 2 days ago, I think.
My bad, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, thank you for listening, and cue the outro.
Sam and
Sam and
CD,
CD,
CD and Sam.
CD and Sam.